Crocker trying to get clear, can't do so. Larkin grabbed too high, did have the ball. All he had to do was apply a fair tackle, and they would have been holding it. The Swans really trying to close up North Melbourne's forward line, but so far without success. Here's that tackle again.
Oh, no doubt about it. No, bad news for the Swans. David Murphy is hurt and is being escorted from the ground.
He's one of their best players, if not the best. That kick hits the post. Also limping off just a short time back was Murray, number 34 for North Melbourne, but Murphy looks a trifle the worse for wear. Hard to say what that injury is. Cameron Williams might be able to throw some light on that for us shortly, Peter. And coming back onto the ground is Collins, the recruit from South Fremantle. Scholl taking the mark inside the square, but North Melbourne this quarter kicking with the assistance of this slight breeze, which once again has come up. We tried the spiral punt, didn't really get onto it. A little bit of distance there, though. The ball was punched towards the boundary line, picked up by Staritsky, right on it. Spears the pass in towards the right forward pocket, and Rock will have a shot for goal. A position from which about 2 minutes back he missed. In fact, he was on a slightly better angle then, Peter, wasn't he?
He was, and closer in. But I think he might get this one, Pete.
Let's see if he's learnt by his previous mistakes. No mistake, I don't think so. He's still missed to the near side, so further behind to North Melbourne, taking them on to 11-12, and they lead the Sydney Swans 7-9 at the Bruce Stadium in the Foster's Cup.
Well, they're not manning up well enough, the Swans. They're leaving it to too few, and whereas when the ball is kicked into the open, North have got 2 or 3 players congregating around the ball. Nettlebeck, oh, he's gone short. It's wide of Tui. Crocker. Well done by Crocker. Back to Swass. Staritsky close to the boundary line. The Swans should force this one over if they're clever, and they do. It's Terry Threpp.
And we saw David Murphy a short time ago limp off the ground. Cameron Williams, have you got any news?
Yes, I have. It looks a lot worse than it actually is. He's taken a cork right at the top of his leg at the back where the pelvic region is, and it has struck a nerve. They're going to give him 10 minutes to see whether it requires any further attention, but he'll probably be back on the field for the last quarter.
Well, that is good news.
Well, that is good news, but that is a dreadful decision. That player had no chance whatsoever of getting rid of it, but they're just too much as dynamite on holding the ball at the moment. Paul Spargo's got the free kick, but look at that. Now, what possible chance? Look at that ball held into him. No chance whatsoever of getting rid of it.
A shot at goal by Spargo. Looks good. It's his first goal. It's there.
He's 7-9. And back to the centre. The Swans would have to get a move on. North well on top at the moment. There's Neil Cordy, who's replaced Bays at centre-half back. Bays went off with injury. Staritsky's done some nice things. Rock. Gallagher, Crocker. Oh, Crocker will have a shot here from 50 metres. He's got an open goal. He chips it in. There's another one to North Melbourne. Beautiful football, that.
Daryn Crocker's second goal. And the Swans seemingly running out of legs at the moment. Too many big guns from the North Melbourne Stars. Starting to put it together pretty well. And Crocker's had a good game.
Yes, and look at that teamwork. And Crocker bouncing with the left hand and very deliberate. Just stabbed it through. He knew he had an open goal to kick to. Tim West coming on the ground for the Swans and going up the forward line, but he's got to do more up at centre-half forward.
He's kicked 2 goals, but hasn't really been prominent, has he?
No, he would have had four or 5 kicks, I would think, and it's just not enough at centre-half forward. The ball's been down on their forward line a lot, the Swans.
12.5 minutes left in the term. It's been a good one so far for North Melbourne. Henwood thumps the ball clear of the circle, but North Melbourne, they're backing up in numbers. They're running in numbers. This is Mann. Down towards right half forward. Harris to Sean Smith, who's kicked 3 already and has had a hand in a couple of others. He could have a hand in a goal here because Swass has kicked 2. He's lining up for his third. 45-degree angle, and he'd be about 40 metres from goal, maybe a tad more. From those 3 kicks, 2 goals eliminated. That's a shocking kick. Terrible. Kelly. Might have been a dangerous hand pass. Nettlebeck might be able to make something out of it. He does. A little bit too slow. Higgins. Oh, bad hand pass. Lawson. Grab. Still in there. The young recruit from Wentworth. There's not much of him, I'm here to tell you, but he did well. A little bit of endeavour. Staritsky tries to punch the ball clear. Ball finally does come into the open spaces. He might win out. Staritsky, well played. Larkin, another of the North Melbourne stars this afternoon. He's done well. Cordy couldn't stop the hand pass. He'll get a kick in from a standing start. Kicks it some 35 metres. Williams playing for the free kick, and you'd have to say could have got one. Crocker goes in short, and Larkin. Kick travelling barely the required distance. Larkin inside 50.
Oh, that's bad play.
It is. Spargo.
Bad play by the Swans. They're just not manning up at all. The North are far too good. All those medium-sized players and small players are just cutting the Swans to ribbons at the moment. And if they get a good year out of Paul Spargo, it'll be a difficult side to beat North.
Kick number 13. They look pretty fit, North, don't they? 35 metres out. And he's missed across the face, I think. One behind.
Well, the Swans look a little bit nonplussed at the moment. They're second to the ball. They're not backing each other up in the packs. And the way things are going, North will run right away with this unless the Swans get a move on. It's hardly been up on their forward line this quarter. Craig Nettlebeck has battled his heart out down there against Daryn Harris. But the ball coming down fast and often. That's Gallagher flying. Leon Higgins coming around the boundary line with two bounces. The long kick to the forward line. Here's a chance for McKenzie. A good mark. Running back with the flight. Now, this is the one Kappa should get. A hand pass over the top. Now a chance for Stanislaus from 40 metres. Kappa at the back will fly and marks. That's better.
I like the look of Stanislaus, Pete.
Yes, he's got a touch of class now. Warwick Kappa will have to kick from the boundary line. He'll probably sneak out and try and open up the goals. There's the kick and the mark. Kappa running at the back. He's played from behind a lot today. Martin's had his measure of it. Oh, he's going the banana kick, Warwick. 5 kicks and 5 marks. Now, let's see. This could go, could be sensational or it could be a shocker across the face of goal. Let's see what happens. Exactly what I thought. That has missed by 20 metres on the other side of the ground. And I think Warwick got to give that one a miss.
Roberts kicks in. If that's the right terminology. Martin will kick it straight back and to do it again. It's funny how a striped jumper, though, can make you look a lot narrower. I know Roberts has lost weight, but in the striped jumper of North, as in contrast to, say, the Brisbane Bears, he does look a lot trimmer. West stands the mark. A pack of players there. It falls to Stevie Wright. Tries to get clear of German. Back it comes to Lawson. Shrugs the tackle of Swass onto his left foot. Can he make it his second goal? Ball punched away by Roberts. And a snapshot by Collins. Might be a behind. It is. Swans badly needing some goals to bring them back into contention. They got off to a slow start. Trailed by 24 points at the first change. Got to within 6 halfway through the second quarter. And then trailed by 26 at half-time. And it's now 39 points the difference. So North Melbourne making every post a winner. Roberts looking for options. Not too many. Gallagher finally calls for it. Gets the front position from Henwood, who did spoil well. Right. Into the other redhead in Higgins. It didn't travel 10 metres, did it? Anyway, mark has been taken by Collins from South Fremantle. And his fourth kick started on the bench. He's got a chance to bring up a goal, but kicking into the breeze will have to be a pretty good kick. He'll be right on 50. He'll get the distance, not quite. Opportunity for Kappa, shuffles the ball out. But Peter German in the road, and North Melbourne will again get clear through the agency of Spargo.
Yes, Paul Spargo coming around the outer side of the ground. He's found Crocker, who looks set for a good year. Official crowd, incidentally, Pete, 5,021. Very disappointing crowd, that. Half forward for North. More danger here for the Swans. Carey trying to shuffle it out to a teammate. Taken away by Kelly. Further afield. This player has impressed me at times, Ben Doolan. Half forward. Higgins trying to do the wrestling. Chandler for North, heading towards the boundary line. Oh, and Steve Wright. Now, there's a little bit of a backhander. I don't think Steve will like that. He's a tough little cookie. And Let's have a look what happens here. Steve Wright coming from behind on Jeff Chandler, and well, I think it was a bit 6 to 1, half dozen the other on that occasion. This little bloke's done some nice things. Jamie Lawson, the crowd love him. He's become the hero all of a sudden, Pete.
Well, he kicked that beautiful goal in the second quarter and was then dragged. Not much of him, but he goes in, doesn't he?
Yeah, Murphy's back on the ground. That's a good mark. And he is a terrific overhead mark, Jim West, but he just doesn't do it often enough. And if he could, look at this mark, he can really get in the air, and he's got a strong pair of hands. He's normally a one-grab man. 2 bites that time, but look at that, only 3 kicks. Just doesn't get enough kicks for centre forward. This is West from directly in front. Not a bad-looking drop punt. I think it's a goal, a badly needed one. Yes.
7 minutes left in the third term. Sydney need to get 2 or 3 more before three-quarter time. Williams fumbles. He doesn't often do that. Back to Lawson again from Henwood. And Lawson kicks long inside the square. Martin, almost balletic with the way he came out to meet that and did it well.
Well, he's great, I reckon, Michael Martin. Pete, he plays in front of his opponent every time.
Good old-fashioned fullback,
oh,
isn't he?
Is he, man? Hey? Tough.
Knocked down once more to Lawson. He won't get clear. Crocker tries for German. And good to see Murphy back on and moving okay, it seems, too. Higgins. And over to Bernard Toohey. He's not a bad kick as a rule for goal. 45 metres out. This time he has missed. And another behind to Sydney. 8-11 to 13-13. 6.5 minutes left in the term.
Talk about fullbacks playing from in front. I wish a few of them had played from in front in my day. Wes Lofts and Cowboy Neal and a few of them, Pete.
Oh, they were tough, were they?
No, they tended to play from behind and arrive late.
I think I get your point. Larkin out to Martin. Martin's kick landing centre wing or thereabouts. Some goes behind the cloud here. Umpire's found a free kick to North Melbourne. It'll be taken by Carey. Short pass. Oh, there he is again, Lawson.
Gee, he's got some skill.
And not a bad leap either. That was Nicky Winmar, that one. Doolan from Williams. Still he goes. Kelly. Have to be quick. Good tackle, Rock.
Too slow.
Man. Doolan once more. Ball still in play. Not anymore.
Well, that was bad play by Paul Kelly. That was terrific play by young Doolan. He drew the man, a couple of bounces, gave it to him on a plate. He just, young Paul Kelly had no awareness of his opponent around him. So the ball will be thrown in. It's Larkin. Across to German. He's had a great game, Peter German. Crocker. Yes, he got some pace this year. Daryn Crocker to the pocket. Harris out in front. Can't take the mark. Well done, Nettlebeck. Put enormous pressure on down there. This is Roaston. Around the boundary line. Mark dropped, but a free kick paid to Gallagher. On to Brett Allison. Oh, he kicked straight into Steve Wright. On to Thripp. And the Swans. That's Roaston. Getting it out of defence. Another shocking skill error. Straight to Larkin. There's Cordy. Oh, breaks the tackle. He's a good player, Neil Cordy. To half-back, Gallagher. Can't take the mark. Staritsky. To half-forward. Oh, the big leap was by Carey. Wheeler's in there for the Swans. Socket off the ground. Still in that half-forward area. Roaston at the bottom of the pack. He's trying to get it out. Come on, umpire.
Oh, that is tough. That's twice he's been pinged with that.
Well, they've got to do something about that. That's murder. He's making the play. There's Harris shoved in the back. Umpire calls play on. Toohey finds a little fella again. Lawson. Toohey again. Ball smothered. Plenty of desperation there at half forward for North, and the umpire this time will come in and bounce it. But that poor young kid, he wondered what's hit him today. Roaston, he was pinged in front of goal holding the ball. He had it pinned under his legs. And he was grabbed again then. Umpires today, David Johnston, Ian Richardson.
Bounce favours North Melbourne. Ultimately, it's Wheeler. And it beats Chandler and Steve Wright across the boundary line for a throw-in. Yes, crowd of 5,000, not down on the crowd we had for the Hawthorn Swans game last year. in which Sydney emerged victorious, but the Canberra show's on today. It's pretty hot. Maybe a lot of people at the beach. But the show, I think, was also on last year.
Yep.
Larkin, Schwass, high kick. And it travels about 30 metres in distance. They're the ones you hate. Stevens couldn't get a handle on it. Williams, great skills, this fellow. The Brownlow medalist kicks long up towards the 50-metre line. Stanislaus inside 50 now. That's not a bad kick from the Darwin boy, and he's put it through. Great goal.
The Swans can fight back. They do it time and time again. 13-13 to 9-11. They're only down by 4 goals 2. They're coming home to the scoring end. They could do with another couple just before three-quarter time. Oh, it's tapped on. Henwood dragged the ground. Danger because Gallagher's got him. They've got loose men everywhere. Inside with a hand pass to Carey. On it goes to Harris. An easy goal and tapped through for a goal to Daryn Harris. So a good reply that by North Melbourne. Brilliant team play. 3 goals to Daryn Harris, and again they move further in front of the Swans. 14-13 to 9-11. Well, look at this.
Classically out of the centre, wasn't it? Started from Gallagher.
Allison, Carey. Look at this handball. A 35-metre handball. That is just beautiful. And good thing play by Harris not to go and be a lair and kick it out of the ground like some blokes do.
Well, who are you going to
Oh, no, it's one of our... Well, when you've played a bit of football, you hate to see blokes lair-rising and kicking it right out of the ground.
I couldn't kick it that far anyway. 2:57 left in the quarter. Harris 3 and Sean Smith 3. Now the leading goal kickers for North Melbourne. Lawson Wentworth has done well. Larkin, Ross Smith bounces it to half forward. Swans defending desperately. Wheeler.
Oh, beautiful.
Yes, he's very athletic, Wheeler. Henwood. Lawson again to Wheeler. Lightning hand pass.
Nice.
And Lawson could be a player once he gets a little bit of confidence. Martin's kick. Not very long. Kelly breaks one tackle. Can't break the tackle of Scholl. Murphy, who limped off injured before. Not a good kick, but he was under pressure. Higgins, a try, has the ball knocked away, and then he gets it away from Ross Smith and Chandler. Gee, that's out on the full. So a free kick going to Sydney. Chandler not happy about it. I don't think Wright's within cue of kicking distance against the breeze. I think he realised that too. Short passes on, and West has taken the mark.
Well, that's intelligent forward play that by Jim West. Instead of just blazing away a goal and hoping for a big mark, he led into the hole at centre forward there and a chance to score a goal.
Only 4 kicks, but he's kicked 3 goals from those 4 kicks. Will that one come back? I don't think enough. In fact, it might be... Yes, it's just a behind. So under 2 minutes left in the term. 9-12, 14-13. When you think about that first quarter, Pete, 24 points was the difference at quarter time. The Swans have almost kept pace with them since then, haven't they?
Well, if they had forwards who could capitalise, they'd be right up there with North.
Getting up high with Mackenzie. Couldn't take the grab. German. Crocker. Crocker's played a good game, hasn't he? This is Steve. Oh! That was
North
a little bit high.
Well, Doolan was going to be shepherded. Ben Doolan, the Swans, was going to be shepherded by the North player who came in behind to shepherd him, and Doolan put him down. And he is still on the ground. We'll pick him up in a moment.
In the meantime, it's a throw-in. North Melbourne's left forward pocket.
Oh.
Let's take a look at it.
Have a look at this. Now, what's the shepherding on the edge of frame? You'll see Doolan. Oh, how'd the umpire miss that?
It's Sean Smith, I think.
Ooh.
That's one behind in the meantime to North Melbourne.
And he's still down. He doesn't look too good. Oh, he's moving now, so that's a good sign. 14-14 to 9-12. This is Matthew Wheeler, who showed enormous pace during this game. They're calling for a stretcher, so that's not good. Murphy is right back in the place. Is that 50? No. Murphy in the centre, he thought it was. He's having plenty to say, David Murphy. And there's, is it Sean Smith?
I think so, Peter.
Yeah,
I can't be sure. I think it is.
We'll just have to wait a moment, but he copped a very heavy knock to the head, as you saw.
Well, if they're going to bring a stretcher out, they're a little slow. Now, finally, it is coming out.
And it's in pieces, that stretcher. Oh, well, that might be the... Well, it'll take a while to...
So play will be halted with 1 minute and 2 seconds remaining in the quarter.
Good stuff.
14-14 to 9-12. He is moving, so he's conscious, and that's the good piece of news. With 4 reserves, I don't think he'll be taking any further part in the game today.
Well, let's hope he's all right. That's the main thing. And it looks like, yeah, Sean Smith. And he, as we said, a very heavy blow, that. Let's have a look at it again in replay as Daryn comes into Shepherd and across the neck. Pretty heavy blow.
The stretcher being assembled out there. Going to have a headache on the plane home, that is for sure. I don't believe any report was made. Of course, officials view these tapes later and they make up their minds whether bookings can be made. As it's known these days as trial by video, suggesting that was illegal. That's not for us to determine. Let's take a look at it again. We might take it a little bit slower this time. Watch Daryn. Stevens has the ball. In comes Smith. Well, I think initially he tried to defend himself. That's my reaction. Unfortunately, Sean Smith didn't see it. One of those unfortunate things. And let's hope that he's okay. That is the prime concern. Now, the game won't, of course, proceed until he is well off the ground. The stretcher has to be not just over the boundary line, but off the ground before the umpires will restart play. I think they were calling for another stretcher there because that one was not quite suitable.
Another stretcher. No, they've sent him back again.
Another one came out, but they've sent him off.
It's a Swan stretcher, that one.
So quite a delay here while the stretcher is taken from the ground. And repeating the score, 14-14, North Melbourne 98, leading Sydney 9-12-66, and we have 1 minute and 2 seconds remaining in this quarter. Anthony Rock coming back onto the ground. Now play continues, and it's a Sydney ball. Murphy kicks to half forward. He's got another chance. Big pack of players descending on it. Wheeler did well to get a kick at that. Kappa can't double back quickly enough. Mann fires out a hand pass, not a good one. Stanislaus again, a snapshot at goal, and touched by Chandler, and so through for only 1 behind. Now point to Sydney, 9-13 to 14-14, half a minute to go.
Well, the Swans certainly not out of it. They're only 5 goals, 1 down, but certainly they'd have to prove their play a little bit as the kick comes out to Peter German, who's had an excellent day. Good honest player, Peter German. That was Chandler with a long hand pass. Finds Scholl. Scholl at half back for North. Hooks it round the corner to centre wing. Carey and Cordy. Cordy took front position. Rock taps it on. Stevens is there for North. Socket off the ground by Kelly. There's Daryn brought to ground. Williams in everything, as always. Tapped on by Rock. That was good play to Crocker. Further afield to Staritsky. Now there's loose North Melbourne players everywhere here. Peter German out on half-forward, but there's the siren to end the third quarter here at the Bruce Stadium. North Melbourne with a very good lead, 14-14-98. Sydney Swans 9-13-67.